good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in and joining us this hour. Thank God it's Friday, B. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF. Please read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, and tell everybody that it is brunch time with Maiyegun live. Thank you so much for joining me. Share this if you can, or if you haven't already. Thank you so much once again for joining me, and at the same time a big thank you to all of you that responded to Adenike's call last night. It's been so amazing, like amazing. We're expecting to have a full recap of that probably later this evening. It's been overwhelming. She is so happy. And there is more to gist about, especially the snippet into what is going on in the contraption from last night. So please, it is Obasanjo. The old man granted an exclusive with the News Central, and he did say a lot of things. Some of them that we are going to be breaking down on during this brunch time. Kolu is, according to Obasanjo, Kolu came to power without a plan. Well, I believe that Kolu came to power with a plan, and he is executing the plan very well. It is just not Nigeria plan. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me again this afternoon. And so those who have reacted, yesterday, somebody actually called in to ask about these clowns that went to number 10 Downing Street with what they called a petition or something. I don't know, because we don't even know the content of the nonsense they went to do there. And you know why I'm going to continue to batch some of you here is this, especially those of you who are like the listeners and followers of all these charlatans, is that you are not new to me. You understand? Right? So when you kind of come behind the scene to come and add maybe your jaundice statement and comment, the right thing for me is number one, to actually appreciate your courage that you could come on to Maiyegun's Diary Political to defend the Igbo or defend that Inoki, okay, and a few others who are pretty much chancers out there. It takes a lot of courage, all right, to come on to Maiyegun's Diary to come and type that nonsense, all right. But every time you do, I'm like, there are many like you who can't sum up that courage, okay? They do not have that lever to come on to Maiyegun's Diary Political and then try to defend Igbo or any other of those miscreants out there. But the reason why I'll keep kind of bashing you is that there's a difference between raising awareness and there's a difference between raising awareness and fooling around. So on the program today, when I kind of get fully into this, I am going to bash you again. I'm going to bash you miscreants again. And the reason is because you are not raising awareness. You are making mockery of a legitimate, valid advocacy. And I know them more than some of you idiots on social media who kind of love, those of you who love to hear what they want you to, those of you who love to hear what your warped mind want to hear from these chancers, these opportunities, you call them, right? That will continue to leverage on your gullibility. So yeah, I have some message for you. One lunatic came last night after our program, and he was like, yeah, you see, they are making all of you talk. if it is, look at the people talking about us going to the Downing Street, I was like, you are fooling around. And you probably knows that you are fooling around. But you are not the first. There was the time that some of you wearies on the, came on to Maiyegun's theory political to come and defend your Yayin Onidiri, that schizophrenic woman, that weary woman, when she was everywhere. There were some of you who came on to Maiyegun's theory political. Today, I don't think there is any of you left still talking about Yayin Onidiri. Then they came about again that they've declared the Yoruba Nation. And I saw some of you lunatics on Maiyegun's diary political who said that shouldn't be talking about, about Yoruba Nation or something, because we are now a Yoruba Nation. We have now declared we are, you are pretty much like making mockery of this whole thing. That's what you have done. And that is why some of you are illiterate and nuisance, right? You have scared up the real Omoluabis, the real Yorubas, to actually show interest in this and be like, okay, what can we do? Because when they look around, when they turn on their YouTube, when they turn on their social media, now you wearies then they see. You lunatics that are pretty much like so ignorant and gullible enough that you think this is a cloud chasing of a thing. It's unfortunate, right? So later when they, I don't know what happened to the Yaonidiri and the rest of them, Abi, until now that you are pulling a stunt of submitting a letter to number 10, you clowns, I'm still going to come for you. The other ones were like those ones who have, there are some other people who have actually like decided to imitate the organization we put together, the Bimoma Jekobaje, Ile Yoruba, the Yoruba Union. They don't go start one again, right? And guess what? Their priority is Maiyegun. Yeah, they went on to download one of my videos where I was batching them, right? So they downloaded the video and they said, oh, the power of ignorance. They say, I am ignorant. But we all know, you see, each one of you, that I've actually come across, right? The first thing I always do is to do a background check on the people behind it. And guess what? And people like me will continue to sort of spoil it for you, all right? Where misleading the people is what you lots are always involved in. And when you begin to dig into their background, you realize that they have one or two things to do with this APC, and the Olori Brukus that are destroying Yoruba land. But they are hiding behind, here you get, Yoruba Nation this, Yoruba Nation that. They don't believe in any Yoruba Nation. They do not believe in its emergence. They don't care. But they can continue to fool some of you foolish ones on social media to make you believe that, yeah, we are going to declare it next month. We are going to declare it in 2 months. And this is not awareness. This is not enlightenment. This is making mockery of a very legitimate, advocacy. I'll come back to you. So if you look at me very well, I will remain a Maiyegun, somebody who will not be part of some of your lunacy, so to say. At Agbalagba yin, at Omode yin, shey you get, I will put you into your, put you in sizes and all of that. You get? Like I said, we'll come back to you. So, Oban Paro granted an interview talking about the state of Nigeria, talking about his own time when he was the president of Nigeria. You know something, right? Obasanjo is a one Nigerianist. He never hides it. He loves and prefers Nigeria more than Yoruba land, where he comes from. But when you look at Tifnumbu, a fake pseudo Yoruba nationalist, is exposed himself, so to say, right? So a fake druggie, treasury looter, a fake Yoruba Democrat. For years, they were doing what was called, what do you, they have a name for it too. Is it? No, not Deco. Like, it's pretty much like saying their politics was built around Awolowo this, Awolowo that. So they deceived our people for years. Enough to make it like, if you do not believe in their political criminality, so to say, you are going to automatically be tagged Omoale. Meanwhile, these guys don't give a shit about Yoruba land. They don't give a, they don't. Under them, Yoruba land became like a destitute land. Yorubas have become poorer. Like I'm talking about wretched. Yoruba towns, villages, cities, they have become like war-torn areas. But they themselves have become so stupendously rich because their job was to kind of keep us, hold us down for Nigeria. So then if you don't believe in their criminality, you are going to be tagged Omoale. Meanwhile, they are actually the Omoale Yoruba, the bastards in Yoruba land. Because normally you are supposed to actually love, the way they presented their politics. So you're supposed to love your people, Yoruba land, bring developments, develop education, make sure that more and more Yorubas have access to quality education, quality healthcare. But if you go to Yoruba land today, our people have become more of the alimajiris that you have, you should be aware of from northern Nigeria. Our people have become more wretched. Our young people, those ones that have been denied education, they have turned to agberos, thugs, cultists, murderous machines. You know what I mean? Like murder machine, political thugs. But the criminal politicians, they are stupendously rich. So when you look at them and you put them side by side with what our law was stood for, it is a total contrast. And that is why, if you look at anybody who is defending Tifnumbu, their first line of abuse is to call you Omoale. Yeah, because this is the modus operandi. If you don't believe in us, if you don't join us, you must be Omoale Yoruba. Meanwhile, the real Omoale Yorubas are those who deny the young Yorubas the proper. You remember Adeyinka Grandiot? He has some supporters on Maiyegun's diary political a few time ago. Somebody, hang on, OBJ na Igbo from Anambra, hang on, I've seen them. I don't know if some of my guys, Africa Wala, please do me a favor, okay? Because I am going to kind of like, I'm going to press some nerves. I'm going to press some next this afternoon. So you are going to begin to see those Omoale Yorubas now, all right? That are in the way, okay? They are going to begin to attack anything that they believe is contrary to Tifnumbu, including myself, okay? Somebody just called the OBJ. It's Igbo. It's Igbo. You actually type Igbo from Anambra. Get rid of that bastard quickly. There are some of them that will come up as well. I'll deal with the ones I can deal with. All right. The idea, Obasanjo, for example, Ashebruku Shere, right? Obasanjo have a history. We know Obasanjo's papa. We know Obasanjo's mama. Okay, from Owu to Ibogun, Olaogun, in Ogun State. You will see Obasanjo's lineage. You will see Obasanjo's siblings, sister, brother. You will see Obasanjo's uncles, right? Or nobody's have seen Tifnumbu's, nobody knows Tifnumbu's mama. Nobody knows Tifnumbu's papa. Nobody knows Tifnumbu's relative at all. Like this one are in cousin, or this one is his brother or his sister. Nobody knows, right? But they are the ones who are now the Omoales, they are the ones who are now pointing at the Omo cause in Yoruba land as Omoale, and they make it stick. Do you understand? If you remember them last year, when they are doing their charade elections, including the ones that were shouting Yoruba Nation 2 years ago. Remember, suddenly, they started calling those who are against Tifnumbu Omoale. It is all intentional. It is all psychological. You get that now? So because in Yoruba land, if you want to like neutralize anyone in any arguments, just call them Omoale. You know what? In Yoruba land, if you call somebody Omoale, it simply means that whoever they know as their father is not their father. So you know what people usually do? If it becomes so much like that, they will go back home and then go hold their mama. Say, Mama, my mother, you need to show me my father today. You know, it wasn't like the time of DNA stuff and all that. And that is why if you do not agree with their Bolekaja Agbiru politics, you know, the slavish politics of hatred, politics of bigotry, of Tifnumbu and his followers, they just drop the line. Omali, you are just Omali. You must be Omali. Meanwhile, the person they are rallying around, which is showing them the shege today, the number one Omali in Yoruba land, nobody know him, Papa. Nobody know his mama. In fact, he denied his own mother. Denied his own mother, who is from Iragbiji in Oshun. He denied his own father. Adopted a name that is so popular. When Abibaktu Mogaji, the drug pusher, adopted him. That is why, to them, if you now see anything about Tifnumbu, it is automatically believed that you are attacking Yoruba. But this is a person that is a total contrast from what Yorubas are known for. You know, Yorubas, they have Oriki. You have Orikis from your papa's side, from your mama's side. That will tell about your history and all of that. Tifnumbu no get any history in Yoruba land. All his followers, that is why all his followers will rather call anyone, if you are not following Tifnumbu or supporting Tifnumbu, which is something that majority of Yorubas don't believe in that drug dealer, right? So they will quickly say you must be Igbo from Anambra. There's something about Anambra to them that I am still trying to figure out why. There is really something about Anambra to these guys. So Obasanjo, that everybody know him, Papa, know him, Mama, know his family house, know his families, his family members and all that. So this Olori Bruku Omoale days, Obasanjo is Omoale. But you know, Obasanjo is somebody who say he no be pro-Yoruba and he's never hide it. So give that to him. I'm not pro-Yoruba, I'm pro-Nigeria. Anywhere you see me will tell you, I am pro-Nigeria. But look at those ones who claim to be pro-Yoruba and what they have done to Yoruba land. So trying to now kind of make it, if you say anything about Tifnumbu, that means you are attacking Yoruba. It is called reverse psychology. Here you get, to make you feel so like, as a Yoruba man now, I am supposed to become angry if anybody says something about Tifnumbu. How and why? Tifnumbu himself did not believe in Yoruba. He doesn't believe in Yoruba land. He does not believe in Yoruba. He never. And I remember asking people that, can somebody tell me one single thing that Tifnumbu has done for Yoruba land that we cannot say, if not for Tifnumbu, if not for these chances, these opportunists, they have been using Yoruba name, okay, as their meal ticket from Nigeria. Every time they are sharing power, you remember what they accused Igbere Jolantan of? They said Igbere Jolantan was supported by the Yorubas. But when it now came to power, it did not remember Yorubas. You know what they meant by that? It didn't give them political appointment. Because that's what Nigeria, that is what Yoruba and Nigeria means to this Olori Brukus. Political appointments, contracts, money. If it's not because of Tifnumbu, they would have forgotten the Yorubas. I was like, what do you mean by that? You mean they would have forgotten your political class from getting political appointments, Abi? Because from 1999 to today, there's not been any real human development or human capital development that Yorubas have benefited from Nigeria. Nothing. But yeah, you've had ministers, you've had senators, you've had a lot of them that have made a lot, but some of them are making so much money right now. While Yoruba land and Yoruba people are becoming poorer and poorer and poorer. You know? So their elite, their supposed elite in Yoruba land, who have been using Yoruba as their meal tickets. The only time they will tell you Yorubas are being marginalized is when they are not giving political appointments. Yeah. They are giving the appointment to Igbos. It's only the Hausa Fulani that are getting the appointments. When the Bokwari, when they went to go and make a deal with the devil to bring a terrorist to power in Nigeria, Tinubu and his gang, they did so because they wanted to get closer to their national cake. They did get closer to the national cake, but Yoruba land became more poorer and more underdeveloped. Go around. I've challenged a lot of you many times. People who love Yoruba land will use the opportunity given to them to what? To attract real development. And then the most valuable things to us as Yorubas is education and trade. You know that? But they destroyed the education so that they can have enough of our young people to use for political thuggery, political, what do you call it? Violence and the rest of that. And they have a lot of them now. Others have been chased away from Yoruba land. They are now in America, Canada, UK, all over the world. Those who could japa have jackpot out of the land. And the rest of the place is now left for miscreants, political jobbers, 419ers, Yahoo boys, ritualists, coal miners. No education. So when you now ask them, what exactly would you say Yorubas are benefiting from Nigeria today? Political appointments. The most lucrative job in Yoruba land today is politics. Go and join politics. Go and join politics. They can give you something in Abuja, or you can become a tax collector from the same impoverished people. Oh yeah, if they give you tax collection, maybe they collect tax, or they collect rubber here and there. That's what they have turned Yoruba land into. And that's the future of Yoruba land. So Obasanjo, who also did his, you know why I'm actually putting them side by side is because a man that also failed is looking back today and is like, but it is too late. Yeah, it is too late. So he granted an interview to News Central TV where he was talking about his time, and he said he could have gotten his third term if he wanted it. That when he came to power in 1999, Nigeria debt was over $36 billion. And he did his best to clear the debts. That when he was leaving power, and he's so right, okay? Nigeria didn't even have foreign reserve at the time Obasanjo came in, but let's assume that they did have somewhere that they kept some money. The total money Nigeria had as a foreign, in their foreign reserve or foreign account back then was less than $3 billion. Very, very, like it was like non-existent. So when Obasanjo was leaving, he left over $40 billion, $44 billion. That's how much Obasanjo left. He managed to repair the image of Nigeria a bit abroad, right? There's so many Nigerians who were returning back to Nigeria to go and do something. A lot of people actually return back to Nigeria under Obasanjo, even though he's a failure himself, right? Under Obasanjo, which he said he left the debt of 3.6 billion. Obasanjo left over $20 billion in what then was called excess crude account. The account is now zero, courtesy of APC. Zero, it doesn't exist anymore, right? So he said if he wanted his third term, he said getting debt forgiveness was even tougher than getting a third term. He continued to say that every now and then, that if I wanted it, no. I wasn't too young around that time. You remember Ibrahim Mantu, Deputy Senate President in Nigeria then, and then the 50 million naira Ghana must go back that they were sharing. Obasanjo funded that, but he continued to deny it. So in part of that interview, here is what the old man had to say and what Nigeria is now. Tinubu came to power with no plan. That's what he said. But I'm like, no. He came to power with a lot of plan. And is executing the plan one after the other. Now, body go tell the rest of Nigeria when it's done.